After purchasing Ableton Move, I started thinking, why do companies keep producing these quirky and extremely limited samplers when such heavy hitters exist like MPCs, Ableton Push 3 or even SP404 Mark II? But the main question here is, why are these less capable devices flood the market nowadays? And most importantly, why is our attention drawn so much to them? Let's discuss it. So first we have the heavy hitters, for example MPC Live 2, which in my opinion is the best sampler / groove box any beatmaker, any producer could desire. It is capable of everything, from sketching your ideas to production to mixing and mastering, all within one box. Push 3 also rivals the MPC lineup because it is a very powerful device and you can do everything, just all the power of Ableton Live within your fingertips in one box, especially if it's a standalone device. This is fantastic. And let's not forget SP404 Mark II, which is beloved by tons of producers of lo-fi hip-hop specifically, and just any hip-hop genres in general. In my opinion, SP is this sampler where it borders between the capability and creative limitations, and here we talk really about creative limitations because it's very simple, very easy to use, yet it gives you another perspective on production. But then we have all this spectrum of what I used to call useless samplers, and recently the production of them has been booming. For example, OP1 Field, KO133, Roland P6, Novation Circuit Rhythm, Korg KS Pad, Ableton Move, and many others. They're all fun but extremely limited, and it seems that the limitation is their selling point. For example, sampling time. Why do they have like 12 or 16 seconds of sampling time? And yes, I know that our beloved MPC 60, SP 1200, MPC 3000, they all were extremely limited, but guys, it happened 35 years ago. Now it's 2024, 2025. I know you want to recreate this atmosphere, but is it really necessary? Anyway, all those above-mentioned samplers are not MPC 60 and they never will be. Then very simple sample editing, like forget about warping, time stretching, they just sometimes don't exist. The limitation of only 16 chops, again, this is crazy. Well, yes, I know, 16 chops could be more than enough to create a very good sounding track. But then again, it's not MPC 60. We love MPC 60 because it's the real deal. And the new gadgets that try to mimic, so they are modern, but they try to look like something else, which they aren't in reality. Most of these above-mentioned useless samplers, they have really big problems with exporting their files because, in my opinion, they weren't created for real music making, they are made for hobby, and this is good. And I know there are a lot of ways to grab your sound and put it into your DAW, but for example with Ableton Push, it's seamless process. With MPC, like no comments, MPC is a DAW. Compared to the big three, I would call them the big three, these are all expensive and good-looking toys, but nothing else. Now that I come to think of it, they're all nostalgic toys that we, as millennials in our childhood, always wanted to buy, but we didn't have money because, you know, times were hard. And now we have the possibility to buy toys, expensive toys, shiny expensive toys, but we don't play with toys anymore. We play with these toys, like toys for grown-ups. Let's face it, to some extent that's true, and companies know it. I believe that the majority of us didn't have this wonderful possibility to use MPC 60 when it was then popular and it was the only MPC there is. So now we try to replace it with something else, thinking that back in the days they had 12 seconds of sampling time, that's why I should suffer right now too. But then I realized that it was more than nostalgia, and I guess I was even wrong. Unbelievably often I hear or I read comments from people who are outside this game saying, why do you need those MPCs? Why do you need Ableton Push 3 or something else? They are expensive, useless toys. And I used to be like, no they aren't, and I would go into arguing with them, giving my arguments why MPC it's not a toy, it's much more powerful than they think it is. In the bigger scale, if we zoom out, people absolutely don't care about our shiny toys. Whether it's MPC, which is, in my opinion, the best sampler, the best DAW within the box, or Push 3, or Ableton Move, or Roland P6, they're all useless samplers for them, for the bigger majority of beatmakers, of producers. Especially for the younger generation, because we millennials, we are done. They're good with FL Studio, it's perfect for them. Guess what? They are using just one mouse click using AI technologies, Suno AI or any other services. They don't need to understand how to create music. They need to understand how to write prompts to create music with lyrics, with already hooks, chorus, and so on and so forth, bridges. It's all ready for them within one click of a button. Yeah, I know that the quality of this and everything, yes, I know we don't go into this debate about AI music, but they absolutely don't understand why we collect all these boxes and pay for them, which for them seems like nonsense. So while we, inside our bubble, argue which samplers, which groove boxes are better, which are toys and which are powerful stations, they, the bigger scale of people, of beatmakers, they do it absolutely differently. They have a very simple, cheap laptop with Ableton, and that's it. Unlimited plugins, unlimited VST plugins, all within one simple, tiny iPad even, not even laptop, iPad. Personally, for me, the hardware is the beauty of making music. I enjoy the process much more than the end result. This is me. So right now I stop this debate between useful and useless samplers and groove boxes, because the purpose of them is to give us emotions, to motivate us, to inspire us. If some device, for example KO133 by Teenage Engineering, is very limited and you don't know what to do next, but some people don't need anything next, they don't need next step, they want it as a hobby, they want to enjoy the result, they don't want a finished beat, a finished track on their Spotify account. Maybe they don't even plan to have a Spotify account as an artist. Maybe it's their hobby. Somebody's hobby is fishing, somebody is snowboarding, and somebody else's hobby is maybe tweaking the knobs of a synthesizer and not finishing the project. I know a ton of people who do this as relaxation, and it's absolutely perfect. So what do you think? What is your attitude to these expensive toys? More expensive, less expensive, but toys for lots of people who are outside the box? Let me know in the comments.